I never thought I would see her like that. My name's Daniel, I used to say whenever someone asked what I did. Just a regular guy trying to build something real. Lena would laugh and squeeze my hand. He's not just regular. He's stubborn. He's going to own the best tech repair shop in the city. I will, I'd reply grinning. You'll see. Carter Tech. Has a nice ring, doesn't it? It does, she'd say softly. And I'll be with you no matter what. Those words lived in me. I worked double shifts, fixed cracked screens until my fingers ached, saved every spare dollar. Whenever I got discouraged, I'd call her. Babe, I'm exhausted. I'd tell her. You're building our future, she'd answer. Keep going. That night, my phone buzzed as I locked up the small repair kiosk. Daniel, my manager said. Grand Meridian Hotel, just called. Their system's down. They'll pay emergency rates. Tonight. I asked. Right now. I hesitated, then thought about the shop, the deposit, the dream. I'll go. The Grand Meridian lobby gleamed like polished gold when I stepped in with my toolkit. A concierge rushed toward me. You're the IT technician? Yeah, Daniel. Thank God. Our booking system froze. The guests are furious. I'll handle it, I said, trying to sound confident. As I walked toward the elevators, I heard a laugh. Soft, familiar, intimate. No, I told myself. It can't be. Then I saw her. She stood near the marble fountain in a red dress I had never seen before. Not the simple sundresses she wore with me. This was different, elegant, expensive, daring. Lena. I breathed, though she couldn't hear me yet. Her hand rested lightly on a man's arm. He was tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a tailored suit that probably cost more than my monthly rent. She tilted her head up at him. You're impossible, Victor. Victor. The name hit me like static in my skull. He chuckled. You like impossible. She smiled in a way I thought belonged only to me. I stepped behind Column, my heart pounding. Maybe it's business, I tried to reason. Maybe he's a client. Maybe. He brushed a strand of hair from her face. You look stunning tonight, he said. She lowered her eyes. You always say that. Because it's true. My fingers tightened around my toolkit until the metal edges bit into my palm. I told myself to walk away, to finish the job, to trust her. Instead, I followed them. They entered the elevator. I slipped in just before the doors closed, keeping my head down. Victor glanced at me briefly. Maintenance. Yeah, I muttered. Lena didn't look at me. Not once. The elevator chimed at the top floor. They stepped out, laughing softly. I trailed them down the hallway, each step heavier than the last. Outside a corner suite, Victor stopped. He turned to her. Are you sure? She smiled, almost shy. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. My throat burned. He cupped her face. And then he kissed her. Slow, familiar, certain. The world went silent. Lena. I whispered. She stiffened. Victor pulled back. What? She turned. Her face drained of color. Daniel. The way she said my name, like it was a problem. I stepped closer, my voice shaking. What is this? Victor looked between us. Who is this? I swallowed hard. I'm her boyfriend. The words sounded foolish in the hallway's heavy air. Lena's lips parted. Daniel, I can explain. Explain. I laughed, but it came out broken. I just watched you kiss him. Victor's expression hardened. Lena, you told me you were single. She looked at him quickly. I am. It's complicated. Complicated. I repeated. 3 years is complicated? Victor frowned. 3 years. She reached for my arm. Daniel, please, not here. I pulled back. Then where, Lena? In our apartment? Over the cheap takeout you pretend to love. Don't do this, she whispered. Don't do what? React. Victor straightened. I don't tolerate drama. Lena, handle this. I stared at him. You knew. He met my eyes coolly. I knew she deserved better. The words sliced through me. Better. I said, you think money makes you better? It makes life easier, he replied calmly. Lena stepped between us. Stop it, both of you. I looked at her, really looked at her. Did you ever mean it? When you said you'd be with me, no matter what? Tears welled in her eyes. I did. I do. Then why are you here? She hesitated. That hesitation told me everything. Victor placed a hand on her back. Lena. I felt my chest cave in. So this is it? I asked quietly. You and him? She couldn't meet my eyes. I was going to tell you, she said. When? I demanded. After you moved into his penthouse? It's not like that. It looks exactly like that. Victor exhaled impatiently. This conversation is over. I laughed again, hollow. Yeah, it is. I looked at Lena one last time. I was working tonight. For us. Her face crumpled. Daniel, I hope he's worth it. I turned before she could answer. As I walked down the hallway, her voice followed me. Daniel, wait. I didn't. Because in that moment, outside that hotel suite, with the echo of their kiss still ringing in my ears, I felt my world split cleanly in half. And I knew nothing would ever be the same again. Lena, talk, I demanded, my voice low and shaking. Right now. Daniel, please, she whispered. Not in the hallway. Then where? Inside? With him. Just come here. She grabbed my wrist and pulled me a few steps away from the suite door. I yanked my hand back. Start explaining. It's not what you think. I stared at her. I just watched you kiss him. You don't understand. Before I could answer, I heard Victor's voice from inside the open suite. Lena, he called. Is he the broke boyfriend? The words slammed into my chest. Broke. I felt heat crawl up my neck. Did he just call me broke? Lena flinched. Daniel, ignore him. Answer me. She swallowed. He doesn't know you. I think he knows enough. Victor stepped into the doorway, adjusting his cufflinks. I don't appreciate being kept in the dark. Go back inside, Lena hissed. No, I said. Let him stay. I want to hear this. Victor looked me up and down. You look upset. Say that word again, I shot back. He raised an eyebrow. Broke. My fists clenched. You don't get to define me. I define facts, he replied calmly. Lena told me you're still building something. I looked at her. You told him that? Her eyes filled with panic. Daniel, please listen to me. I am listening. She took a shaky breath. I didn't plan this. How long? I asked. She hesitated. How long, Lena? 6 months. The number hollowed me out. 6 months. It started as networking, she rushed to say. He knows investors, designers, people I need. So you slept with him for contacts? It's not like that. Victor smirked slightly. It's exactly like that. Shut up, she snapped at him. I felt dizzy. 6 months, I repeated. While I was working overtime. While I was saving for us. She looked down. I was waiting. For what? For you to succeed, she said softly. The words cut deeper than anything else. I was trying, I said. Every day. I know, she replied. But trying isn't the same as arriving. Victor folded his arms. Ambition without capital is just a hobby. Don't, I warned him. Lena's voice trembled, but not with guilt. With fear. Daniel, I can't build a future on love alone. I stared at her as if I didn't know her. We were building it together. You were building, she corrected quietly. I was waiting. For what? For me to magically become him. I needed security, she whispered. I gave you everything I had. And I appreciated it, she said quickly. But appreciation doesn't pay for opportunities. Victor stepped closer. I'd offered her stability. You offered her money, I shot back. And connections, he said. And a faster path. I laughed bitterly. So I'm just a practice run? Lena reached for me again. You were never a practice run. Then what was I? She hesitated. That pause, I said, my voice cracking. That's the truth. I loved you, she said. Loved. I still care about you. That's not what I asked. Victor sighed. This is exhausting. I turned on him. You think this is entertainment? I think this is reality, he replied. She wants more. And you more. I'm prepared. The hallway felt smaller. You've been lying to me for half a year. I didn't know how to tell you, Lena said. You could have started with honesty. I was scared you'd react like this. Like what? Like a man who just found out he's been replaced. You weren't replaced, she insisted. You just weren't ready. The humiliation settled heavy in my chest. Not ready. Victor reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a thick fold of bills. Here, he said casually, holding it out to me. Take this and walk away. I stared at the money. What is that? I asked quietly. Compensation, he said. For your time. My vision blurred with rage. You think I'm for sale? It's practical, he replied. You need it more than I do. Lena looked horrified. Victor, stop. I grabbed the cash from his hand. For a split second, I felt how thick it was, how easy it would be. Then I threw it back at his chest. The bills scattered across the carpet. Keep your charity, I said through my teeth. I'm not broke. I'm building. Victor's jaw tightened. Lena whispered my name. Daniel, please. No, I said. You made your choice. I was trying to secure my future. You mean upgrade it? That's not fair. Neither is this. She stepped toward me, tears finally falling. I didn't want to hurt you. But you did. Silence stretched between us. I would have waited for you, I said quietly, even if it took years. She looked away. That hurt more than everything else. Victor cleared his throat. We're done here. Yeah, I replied. We are. I looked at Lena one last time. You should have believed in me the way I believed in you. Her lips trembled. I'm sorry. I nodded once. I won't beg. I turned and walked toward the elevator. Daniel, she called after me. I didn't stop. Inside the elevator, my reflection looked smaller than I remembered. Broke boyfriend. Not ready. Waiting. Each word echoed. But beneath the humiliation, beneath the heartbreak, something else burned. Anger. Cold. Focused. Alive. As the doors closed, I whispered to myself, you'll regret underestimating me. For the first time, I saw it clearly. Love hadn't just made me hopeful. It had made me blind. I didn't sleep. I lay in the dark, staring at the ceiling, replaying everything. I'll be with you no matter what. Her voice echoed in my head. Daniel, I love you. Was any of it real? I grabbed my phone at 3 a.m., scrolled through old messages. Miss you already, she had written once. I'm proud of you, another said. I whispered into the empty room. Were you proud or just patient? My chest felt tight. Every memory felt contaminated. The way she used to kiss my cheek. The way she'd say, you're going to make it. I laughed bitterly. Make it for who? By morning, I looked like I hadn't slept in days. I called Marcus. Bro, he answered, voice thick with sleep. Why are you calling at sunrise? I saw her, I said. A pause. Saw who? Lena. With him. Another pause, longer this time. You're serious? I watched them kiss. Marcus exhaled slowly. Where? Grand Meridian. Of course, he muttered. I heard him call me the broke boyfriend. Silence. Then and she's been seeing him for 6 months. 6, he stopped himself. I told you. Don't, I warned. I'm not trying to kick you while you're down, he said. But I warned you. I loved her. She loved your potential, not you. The word stung. That's not fair. It's accurate, he replied. She loved the version of you she hoped you'd become. I was becoming that version. Not fast enough for her. I sat up, rubbing my face. So what am I supposed to do now? Feel it, he said. Then get smarter. I feel humiliated. Good, he replied. Humiliation can fuel you. I don't want fuel. I want my life back. That life is gone, Marcus said bluntly. Build a better one. I ended the call more restless than comforted. At work, I couldn't focus. Daniel. Mr. Darnell barked from across the shop. That laptop ready? I'm working on it. You've been working on it for an hour. I didn't sleep, I muttered. That's not my problem. His voice grated against my nerves. Maybe if we had better equipment. Excuses again, he snapped. You're slipping. I'm not slipping. Then act like it. I felt something snap. You know what? I said, standing up. I don't need this. He blinked. Don't need what? This job. You're on thin ice already. Then let it crack. His eyes narrowed. Careful, son. I quit. The words came out before I could stop them. You're being emotional, he said. Maybe, I replied. But I'm done. You'll regret walking out without a backup. I grabbed my jacket. I already regret staying. I walked out with no plan. By evening, reality hit me. No girlfriend. No job. Savings that suddenly looked small. I stared at my reflection in a bar mirror. Rock bottom, I muttered. The bartender slid a glass toward me. Rough day. You have no idea. I drank too fast. One glass became three. My phone felt heavy in my hand. Don't do it, I told myself. I opened our chat anyway. My thumbs moved before my pride could stop them. Lena, I don't understand. I hit send. Another message followed. Was any of it real? Then another. I would have done anything for you. The words kept spilling. You said you loved me. I'm trying to hate you, but I can't. I just need to hear you say why. I stared at the screen, breathing unevenly. Minutes passed. Then my phone buzzed. 3 words. Please move on. That was it. No explanation. No apology. No hesitation. Just distance. I read it again. Please move on. I laughed under my breath. That's all. The bartender glanced at me. You okay? Define okay. I stood up too quickly, steadying myself on the counter. Outside, the night air felt colder than usual. I leaned against the brick wall and whispered, you begged. The realization sickened me. I had thrown away my pride for 3 words. Marcus's voice echoed in my head. She loved your potential, not you. I looked up at the dark sky. I lost her, I said quietly. I lost my job. I lost my dignity. The list felt endless. But beneath the shame, something else settled in. Not sadness. Not heartbreak. Something harder. If I'm going to lose everything, I murmured, clenching my fists, then I've got nothing left to fear. I pushed off the wall. They think I'm broke, I said to myself. They think I'm not ready. I felt the shift happen inside me. Slow. Solid. Unforgiving. Fine, I whispered. I'll rebuild. Not for love. Not for validation. But for power. I pulled out my phone one last time, opened her message, and deleted the entire thread. Please move on, I repeated softly. I will. And when I do, they'll regret ever underestimating me. Stop feeling sorry for yourself, Marcus said as soon as I walked into his apartment. I'm not, I muttered. You quit your job, got drunk, and begged her over text. I exhaled. You didn't have to summarize it like that. I did, he replied. Because you're better than that. I dropped onto his couch. I don't feel better. You don't need to feel better, he said. You need direction. I had direction. You had a kiosk and a dream, he shot back. That's not the same as strategy. I rubbed my temples. So what now? I start over. You start smarter. He leaned forward. I want you to meet someone. Who? My cousin, Elijah Reed. Another lecture? No. An opportunity. I'm not in the mood for charity. He smirked. Good. He doesn't do charity. Later that afternoon, I found myself sitting across from Elijah in a quiet co-working space. He studied me for a long moment. Marcus says you're serious. I am. About what? Building my own tech repair company. He nodded once. Show me. I slid my old business plan across the table. He flipped through it silently. I watched his eyes move, waiting for a laugh. Instead, he asked, why this? It's what I know, I said. Phone repairs. Laptop diagnostics. Walk-in customers. He closed the folder gently. You're thinking too small. The words hit, but not like an insult. Too small. I repeated. You're trading hours for dollars, he said. That caps you. It's realistic. It's safe. I just lost everything. I snapped. Safe sounds good. He didn't flinch. Safe keeps you average. Marcus crossed his arms. Tell him what you told me. Elijah looked at me again. You understand systems, networks, vulnerabilities. I fix them. For individuals, he replied. Why not for companies? I frowned. Companies hire big firms. Big firms charge big prices, he said. Mid-sized companies need protection too. Protection from what? Data breaches. Ransomware. Internal leaks, he answered. Corporate IT security contracts. I let the phrase settle. That's different. It's scalable, he said. You secure one company. You build recurring revenue. I don't have the credentials. You can get them. I don't have capital. That's where I come in, he said calmly. I stiffened. I don't want handouts. I don't offer handouts, he replied. I offer investment in people who think bigger. I looked down at my worn business plan. You really think I can do that? I asked. I think you're hiding behind small goals because you're afraid to fail loudly. That's not. It is, he cut in. Who hurt your ambition? Victor's voice echoed in my head. Broke boyfriend. I clenched my jaw. Elijah noticed. There it is. There what is? Anger, he said. That can either rot you or refine you. Marcus leaned closer. Use it. I already failed once, I admitted. You failed at love, Marcus said. Not business. It feels the same. It's not, Elijah said firmly. Romantic betrayal isn't market feedback. Despite myself, I almost smiled. He continued, if you build another tiny repair shop, you'll survive. If you build a security firm, you'll compete. Compete with people like him, Marcus added quietly. I didn't respond. Elijah tapped the folder. You understand tech. Learn compliance. Get certified. Pitch companies, not pedestrians. And if I crash? I asked. Then you adjust, he replied. But you won't crash from playing small. You'll just stagnate. I thought about Lena's words. I was waiting. I looked up. What would this even look like? 6 months of training and planning, Elijah said. 3 pilot clients. Lean team. Aggressive outreach. That sounds expensive. It is, he admitted. That's why I'd invest. In exchange for? Equity, he said simply. And effort. I hesitated. I could still chase Lena. I could still show up at that hotel. I could still argue, plead, demand. Instead, I heard myself ask, what do you need from me? Commitment, Elijah said. No distractions. Marcus looked at me knowingly. That includes her. I inhaled slowly. I won't chase her, I said. Good, Marcus replied. I won't confront him either. Better, Elijah added. I felt something shift inside me. Not explosive. Not dramatic. Solid. I'll build, I said quietly. Elijah's eyes sharpened. Say it like you mean it. I straightened. I'll build something so strong that none of this matters. That's a start, he replied. Marcus grinned. That's my guy. I looked at Elijah. When do we begin? Now, he said, sliding a folder back to me. First lesson, stop calling it a repair shop. What do I call it? He held my gaze. Call it a security firm. The word felt heavier, bigger, riskier. Victor's voice tried to surface again. Broke boyfriend. I let the anger burn, but I didn't speak it. Instead, I nodded. I'm done being small. Elijah extended his hand. Then let's build something dangerous. I shook it. For the first time since that hallway, I didn't feel shattered. I felt focused. My revenge wouldn't be dramatic. It wouldn't be messy. It wouldn't involve shouting or proving anything. It would be quiet, calculated, relentless. I slipped my old business plan into my bag. That version of me is done, I said. Marcus clapped my shoulder. Good. As I walked out of the co-working space, I didn't text Lena. I didn't check her social media. I didn't imagine confronting Victor. I imagined contracts, clients, growth. If they thought I was broke, I'd redefine wealth. If they thought I wasn't ready, I'd become undeniable. For the first time, my revenge wasn't loud. It was silent. And it had just begun. 1 year, I said softly, standing in my office overlooking the city. 1 year changes everything. Sophie looked up from her tablet. You're being dramatic again. I'm being reflective. You built Iron Core from scratch, she replied. You're allowed to reflect. Iron Core Security Solutions. I still like the weight of the name. Daniel Hayes knocked on the open door. Client from Westbridge confirmed the contract. I nodded. 3-year term. 3 years, he confirmed. Full network security overhaul. Sophie smirked. That's our 5th corporate client this quarter. I leaned back in my chair. Remember when I used to fix cracked screens? Daniel grinned. Hard to picture. It wasn't that long ago. It feels like another lifetime, Sophie said. She studied me carefully. You've changed. How? You don't react, she said. You calculate. I learned the hard way. Daniel tilted his head. Bad breakup. I met his eyes calmly. Something like that. He nodded once. Well, whatever it was, it built this. Later that week, Claire Monroe sat across from me in the conference room. Recorder on the table. Your growth has been unusually fast, she said. What's your secret? No secret, I replied. Just focus. You went from unemployed to leading one of the city's fastest-growing security firms in a year. I had the right guidance. And the right motivation, she pressed. I smiled slightly. Motivation is personal. She leaned forward. Some say Iron Core emerged at the perfect time, with cybercrime rising. I don't rely on luck, I said. I rely on preparation. She scribbled notes. You sound very certain. I am. Do you ever worry about failing? I worry about stagnating, I corrected. She studied me. You weren't always this composed, were you? No, I admitted. I used to chase things that weren't aligned with me. Like what? Approval, I said simply. That night, Sophie handed me an invitation. Elite Business Networking Gala. You're on the featured founders list. Do I have to go? Yes, she replied firmly. Visibility matters. Daniel added. And free catering. I rolled my eyes. Fine. The gala buzzed with quiet ambition and expensive cologne. I adjusted my suit. Do I look corporate enough? Sophie scanned me. You look powerful. I'll take that. I was mid-conversation with a tech executive when I felt it. That familiar presence. Daniel. I turned. Lena stood a few feet away, frozen. Her eyes moved over me slowly. You look different. I am, I replied calmly. She swallowed. I've heard about your company. I'm sure you have. Iron Core, she said. It's impressive. Thank you. She hesitated. You seem happy. I'm focused. She glanced around the room. You fit here. I work too. Silence stretched between us. You don't even look angry, she said quietly. I'm not. Her brows knit slightly. Not at all. No. She studied my face, as if searching for the old version of me. I didn't expect this, she admitted. Growth. You, she said. Like this. I held her gaze. People evolve. She shifted uncomfortably. Victor and I. I didn't flinch. You don't owe me updates. Her lips pressed together. Things are complicated. They usually are. You've heard the rumors? She asked. I hear many things. She lowered her voice. His company is under investigation. For fraud, she whispered. Misreported assets. Questionable deals. I remained still. That sounds serious. It is. She looked at me carefully. You don't seem surprised. I don't build my life around other people's collapses. That's not what I meant. Then what did you mean? She exhaled shakily. I thought he was stability. And now, I don't know. Across the room, Daniel approached, pausing when he saw her. Everything good? He asked me. Yes, I said smoothly. Daniel, this is Lena. He nodded politely. Nice to meet you. She forced a small smile. You too. This is our founder, Daniel added. He built Iron Core from nothing. I met her eyes. Not nothing. From clarity. Daniel excused himself. Lena's voice softened. I misjudged you. Maybe. I thought you were dreaming too big. A faint smile touched my lips. I was dreaming too small. Her eyes glistened slightly. I didn't think you'd actually become this. I finished. She nodded. I stopped asking for belief, I said. I started building proof. She looked down. I was scared. Of what? Struggling, she admitted. Waiting. Uncertainty. And now I'm uncertain anyway. I studied her quietly. For the first time, I saw something I hadn't seen before. Regret. Daniel, she whispered, do you ever think about us? I think about lessons, I replied. That's not what I asked. I don't revisit closed chapters. Her breath caught slightly. So that's it. That's growth. She searched my face again, but there was nothing desperate left to find. I was wrong, she said. I nodded once. We both were. A murmur spread across the room as someone mentioned Victor's name near the bar. Investigation is expanding, a man said loudly. Could be federal. Lena stiffened. You should be careful, she murmured to me. I always am. She looked at me one last time. You don't need me anymore. I didn't answer immediately. Then I said, I don't need anyone who doubts me. Her shoulders lowered slightly, as if something inside her had finally settled. I'm glad you made it, she said. I didn't make it, I corrected. I'm just getting started. Sophie reappeared at my side. Board members want a word. I'll be there. Lena stepped back. Goodbye, Daniel. Goodbye, Lena. As she walked away, I didn't feel rage. I didn't feel heartbreak. I felt distance. Sophie glanced at me. That her? Yes. And I looked across the room at Lena standing alone, tension in her posture. The balance shifted. I said quietly. Sophie smiled slightly. She knows it. I adjusted my cuffs and walked toward the board members. 1 year ago, I was begging for explanations. Tonight, I was being asked for expansion projections. Power doesn't always roar. Sometimes it stands calmly in a tailored suit, saying less and meaning more. And for the first time, I understood something clearly. She didn't just see my success. She felt the shift. And so did I. Claire's voice came through my speaker sharp and controlled. Off the record? Off the record, I replied. I need context, she said. You've worked adjacent to some of Victor Hale's former investors. I've met a few, I said carefully. Why? There's movement, she continued. Offshore accounts. Shell companies. Funds routed through places that don't like scrutiny. That's not small, I said. It's not, she agreed. Investors are pulling out. I leaned back in my chair. How bad? Bad enough that board members are panicking. And you're telling me, because? Because you understand leverage, she said. And because you don't look surprised. I'm not. You knew something? I knew men like him build fast, I replied. Sometimes too fast. She paused. If this breaks publicly, it won't be quiet. When does it ever? I asked. Soon, she said. Very soon. After I hung up, I stared at the city lights. Cracks in the empire. My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. I almost ignore it. I answered. Hello. Silence. Then a whisper. Daniel. My chest tightened. Lena. I didn't know if you'd pick up. I almost didn't. She inhaled shakily. I need to talk. It's late. I know. What do you want, Lena? I made a mistake. The words settled heavily. I'm not sure I'm the person you should be telling that to, I said. He's not who I thought he was, she continued, voice trembling. Victor. I closed my eyes briefly. What happened? He's different now, she said. Cold. Distant. Different how? He checks my phone, she admitted. Questions where I go. That's not new behavior, I said quietly. It is, she insisted. It's worse. Because he's under pressure? You've heard. I hear things. Her voice cracked. He's angry all the time. At you. At everyone, she replied. But mostly me. I felt something stir inside me. Not love. Not quite anger. Something complicated. He told me I'm replaceable, she whispered. The irony landed between us. I exhaled slowly. That's what men like him say when control slips. I thought I chose stability, she said. Security. And now I feel trapped. I walked to the window, staring at my reflection. Why are you calling me? Because you're the only person who ever, she stopped. Whoever what? Whoever saw me, she finished softly. I let silence stretch. You didn't want to be seen, I said. You wanted to be elevated. That's not fair. It's accurate. She sniffed quietly. I'm scared. Of him? Yes. Has he hurt you? No, she said quickly. Not physically. But he makes me feel small, she admitted. Like I owe him. You traded one insecurity for another, I said. I know. The old pain surfaced, sharp and unwelcome. You said you couldn't build a future on love alone, I reminded her. I was wrong. Were you? Or did the definition of security just change? She didn't answer. He promised to invest in my career, she continued. Now he says I'm a distraction. That's convenient. He said if things collapse, he'll protect himself first. Of course he will. Her breathing was uneven. What do I do? The question hung heavy. A year ago, I would have rushed to save her. Now, I measured my words. What do you want from me? I asked. I don't know, she admitted. Advice. Help. Something. You didn't call when things were good. That's not fair. It's true. I was ashamed, she whispered. Of me. Of myself. I leaned against the glass. Are you in danger? I don't think so. Then you need clarity, not rescue. I thought you'd say that, she said softly. You chose him, I reminded her. Not because I was cruel. Not because I didn't love you. I know. You chose what you thought was power. And now it's crumbling. Yes. Silence filled the line. Do you hate me? She asked. No, I said honestly. I don't. Then why do you sound so far away? Because I learned distance. Her voice trembled. I don't have anyone to talk to. You have yourself, I replied. Start there. That's not comforting. It's necessary. She let out a broken laugh. You've changed. I had to. I never thought he'd turn on me. I did, I said quietly. I thought I was different. Everyone does. Another long pause. If everything falls apart, she whispered, will you help me? The question pressed against my chest. Help her? Expose him further? Protect her? Or step aside and let consequences unfold? What kind of help? I asked carefully. I don't know, she said again. Just don't let me drown. I closed my eyes. Karma was efficient, but it wasn't compassionate. I won't let you drown, I said slowly. But I won't fight your battles either. She inhaled sharply. What does that mean? It means if you're truly in danger, I'll act. But I won't interfere with consequences you chose. That's cold. It's boundaries. She was quiet for a long moment. I don't deserve kindness from you, she said finally. That's not how this works, I replied. This isn't about deserving. Then what is it about? Integrity, I said. Her breathing steadied slightly. I'm sorry, she whispered. I know. Good night, Daniel. Good night, Lena. After the call ended, I stood in the dark office alone. Victor's empire was cracking. Investors were fleeing. The man who once called me broke was scrambling. And the woman who chose security over love now had neither. I felt the weight of choice pressing against me. Power isn't just building something strong. It's deciding when to use it. And for the first time, I understood that the real test wasn't revenge. It was restraint. Turn on the news, Marcus said the moment I answered. I'm working. Turn it on. I muted my office call and switched the screen. Victor's face filled the frame. Financial misconduct, offshore, concealment, internal leak. I leaned closer. The reporter continued. Sources suggest confidential records were released anonymously late last night. Marcus exhaled. It's blowing up. On-screen footage shifted. Cameras flashing. Crowd shouting. Then I saw her. Lena shielding her face outside a luxury apartment building. What did she do? A reporter shouted. Did you know about the accounts? She's being dragged into it, Marcus said quietly. The anchor's voice cut in. Victor Hale has publicly stated that a former partner mishandled sensitive financial documentation. I felt my jaw tighten. He blamed her. Of course he did, Marcus replied. The clip replayed Victor's statement. I trusted the wrong people, he said stiffly. Some individuals close to me had access to files they shouldn't have. Coward. Daniel, Marcus warned, don't get involved. I'm not. Good. An hour later, my assistant knocked. There's someone here to see you. Scheduled. No. Who? She hesitated. Lena. My chest tightened. Send her in, I said. She stepped into my office slowly, sunglasses hiding swollen eyes. I didn't know where else to go, she whispered. You have lawyers, I replied evenly. I'm not being charged. Yet. She flinched. I stood, but kept distance. Why are you here? She pulled off her sunglasses. Her eyes were red. He blamed me, she said, voice breaking. He told the press I leaked documents. Did you? No, she said quickly. I didn't even understand half of what he was doing. You lived with him. I trusted him. I almost laughed at the irony. They're outside my apartment, she continued. Cameras. Questions. Neighbors staring. That's what proximity to power looks like when it falls. I'm not built for this, she said. You chose it. Her shoulders shook. Please don't be cruel. I'm being honest. She stepped closer. I never stopped loving you. The words hit harder than I expected. Don't, I said quietly. It's true. Is it? Or are you just scared? Tears slid down her cheeks. I made a mistake. You made a decision. I thought I was securing my future. And now I feel like I ruined it. Silence filled the office. I remembered our tiny kitchen. Burnt toast. Her laughing when I dropped a pan. I can't build a future on love alone, she had said once. I swallowed. I almost believed you, I admitted. Believe me now, she pleaded. Marcus's voice echoed in my head. Don't save someone who drowned you. I don't know what you want from me, I said. I want you, she whispered. That's convenient timing. It's not about timing. It is, I said firmly. When I was nothing, you walked away. You weren't nothing. That's how you treated me. She covered her face. I was afraid. And I was devoted. I know. Devotion doesn't disappear because someone richer shows up. She looked up at me. You're not the same man. No, I agreed. I'm not. I see that now. I studied her carefully. I almost feel sorry for you, I said. Almost. But not enough to forget. She sank into the chair across from me. He's being arrested. My phone buzzed. Breaking news. Victor Hale taken into custody on fraud and tax evasion charges. I stared at the headline. It's over, she whispered. For him, I said. For me too. Outside my office window, the city moved as if nothing had happened. I thought I'd feel something when this happened, I admitted. What do you feel? She asked. I searched myself. Not triumph. Not satisfaction. Empty, I said. She blinked. Empty. I built this company with anger, I said slowly. I imagined this moment. And it doesn't taste sweet. She looked confused. You wanted him to fall. I wanted to prove myself. You did. His collapse doesn't add to that. She wiped her cheeks. Then why does this hurt so much? Because you tied your identity to his power, I replied. And you tied yours to revenge. The question lingered. I tied mine to growth, I said finally. She shook her head. You're still angry. Yes, I admitted. But I'm not reckless. I don't know where to go, she whispered. That's not my responsibility. I thought maybe we could start over. I walked to the window, looking at my reflection. I remember our first apartment, I said quietly. The leaking ceiling. The mattress on the floor. She let out a soft sob. We were happy. We were hopeful. Isn't that enough? It was, I said. For me. She stood behind me. Can it be again? I closed my eyes. If I turned around, I knew what I'd see. Regret. Fear. Familiarity. I can't be your refuge, I said. I'm not asking for rescue. You are. Silence. I don't hate you, I added. Then what are we? Two people who wanted different things at the wrong time. She inhaled shakily. So that's it. Yes. She stepped back slowly. I thought revenge would bring you back to me, she said. It brought me clarity, I replied. A knock interrupted us. Sophie's voice came through the door. They've confirmed the arrest. I know, I answered. Lena looked at me one last time. I never stopped loving you, she repeated softly. I felt the old ache. Almost. But not enough. I hope you find stability, I said. She nodded weakly and walked out. When the door closed, I sank into my chair. Victor's empire had collapsed overnight. The man who called me replaceable was now in handcuffs. I should have felt victorious. Instead, I felt quiet. Revenge didn't fill the space I thought it would. It just removed the noise. And in the silence that followed, I realized something unsettling. Winning doesn't always heal. Sometimes it just proves you survived. Please, Lena said, standing in my office doorway again. Just hear me out. I'm listening, I replied. I'll start over with you, she said quickly. No expectations. No shortcuts. Just us. There is no us anymore. There could be, she insisted. We've both changed. Yes, I agreed. That's the problem. She stepped closer. I was scared before. I won't be this time. You weren't just scared, I said calmly. You were selective. That's not fair. It is. Tears gathered in her eyes. I chose wrong. You chose what you valued. I value you. Now, I said. She flinched. I loved the girl who believed in me when I had nothing, I continued. You stopped being her. I was still her, she whispered. No, I said gently. She would have stayed. She covered her mouth, shaking her head. I thought I needed more. You did, I replied. Just not for me. She reached for my hand. I didn't pull away, but I didn't hold her back. I'll move into a smaller place, she said. I'll rebuild my career on my own. I don't need luxury. This isn't about square footage. Then what is it about, she cried. Trust, I said. And timing. I'm here now. Yes. After everything collapsed. She sobbed openly. I was wrong. I admit it. Isn't that enough? For forgiveness? I asked softly. Yes. For us. She searched my face. No. Her shoulders dropped as if something inside her finally gave up. You don't love me anymore, she said. I felt tears sting my eyes. I love who we were, I admitted. But I can't love who you became. I can change. You already did, I said. And so did I. She wiped her cheeks roughly. I thought we were forever. I would have waited forever, I said quietly. That's who I was. And now I don't wait for anyone who doubts me. Silence settled between us. I ruined it, she whispered. No, I corrected. You revealed it. She looked at me, confused. If we were meant to survive, we would have, I said. But we weren't strong enough. She let out a broken breath. So this is goodbye. It is. She stared at me, searching for hesitation. Can you at least say you forgive me? She asked. I nodded slowly. I forgive you. Why? Because I deserve peace. Her face crumpled again. You're letting me go so easily. It's not easy, I said, my voice steady despite the tears in my eyes. It's necessary. She stepped back toward the door. I thought losing him was the hardest thing, she said faintly. But it's losing you. I swallowed hard. You didn't lose me today. Her eyes widened slightly as understanding settled in. She lost the version of me who would have waited forever. I'm sorry, she whispered one last time. I know. She walked out without looking back. I stood alone, letting the silence settle. This wasn't anger. This wasn't revenge. This was release. And even though my chest ached, my voice had stayed steady. For the first time, loving her didn't mean choosing her. It meant letting her go. Chapter 9. I found myself instead. Word count, 1,000. Congratulations, Sophie said, sliding the contract across the table. 5-year corporate security agreement. I stared at the signature. This is the biggest one yet. Daniel grinned. Told you we'd land them. I leaned back, exhaling slowly. 1 year ago, I was unemployed. And heartbroken, Marcus added from the corner of the room. Don't forget dramatic, Sophie teased. I smiled faintly. I was all of it. Marcus stepped forward. You didn't win because Victor lost. I know. You won because you grew. His words settled deeper than any headline ever could. Later that afternoon, Claire sat across from me again. You've expanded into 3 cities, she said. How does it feel? Earned, I replied. You've become harder to read. Have I? You don't react the way you used to. I used to confuse emotion with direction. And now I separate them. She studied me differently this time. Not like a journalist. Like a woman observing a man. You built this from pain, she said. I built it from clarity. I corrected. Do you ever regret how it started? I thought about the hotel hallway. The red dress. The word broke. No, I said honestly. Because it forced me to see myself. She tilted her head. And who are you now? I'm someone who doesn't measure his worth by who stays. She smiled slightly. That's new. It had to be. After the meeting, Marcus walked with me toward the exit. You good? He asked. I am. You don't look angry anymore. I'm not. You don't look like you're chasing anything either. I'm not chasing, I said. I'm building. He nodded approvingly. That's growth. That evening, I drove alone. Without planning it, I found myself stopping outside the Grand Meridian Hotel. The same marble entrance. The same gold-lit lobby. I sat in the car for a moment. Then I stepped out. Inside, the air felt the same. But I didn't. I stood near the fountain where I once froze. I could almost hear my own whisper. Lena. My chest tightened briefly. Not with pain. With memory. A young valet approached. Do you need assistance, sir? No, I said calmly. I'm just passing through. I walked toward the elevator, stopping short of where I once watched everything shatter. I remembered the humiliation, the rage, the vow to rebuild. If I hadn't walked into this hotel that night, I would have married someone who doubted me. I would have built smaller dreams. I would have stayed safe. Instead, I lost her. I lost my job. I lost my illusion. And in that loss, I found discipline, purpose, myself. My phone buzzed. Claire, dinner sometime? No interview, just conversation. I smiled slightly. Maybe I was ready for something new. Not because I needed it, but because I wanted it. I walked back toward the exit, pausing one last time in the lobby. I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel revenge. I felt gratitude. Pain had redirected me. Humiliation had sharpened me. Love had broken me open. And rebuilding had made me stronger than I ever imagined. Outside, the city lights reflected in the glass doors. I caught my own reflection. Confident, calm, whole. She said she loved me. I whispered to myself. Maybe she did. I opened the door and stepped into the night air. But losing her taught me how to love myself.